You wondering when we're finally gonna be on the water on Lake Sakakawea? Yeah, me too. Let's talk about that. So I got to North Dakota 2 days ago. 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And when I was on my way, about the time that I got to like Aberdeen, South Dakota, I started seeing ice on all of the sloughs and stuff like that. And certainly by the time I got further up into North Dakota, at least 50% of the sloughs had a lot of ice coverage, 50 to 80%. Some of them were almost locked up entirely except for the shorelines. So then I had one thought, like maybe I'd actually go try some ice fishing, but I think it's getting to the point where the shoreline ice is receding too much and it's probably not safe to get out there. So now we just got this big gap between, it's not ice fishing season, it's not open water season yet, and we gotta wait for all that ice to come off, in certain spots anyway. Got the boat into the shop, do some of the things I was talking about in that other video about the battery, things of that nature. And then I just took a drive around, looking around, checking the ice conditions, seeing what is at least close to maybe being open. So the main lake's locked up pretty solid. That's gonna be a while. But on the bright side, that's not where you're gonna fish anyway when the season starts. So once some of the bays start opening up, that's kind of where you wanna be. And the good news is some of those are getting a little closer. So especially those little creek arms where you got some flow coming into the back of that, it's starting to open up some of that ice. And within a few days, it might be fishable. But even for the bays, it's definitely gonna be the latest I've ever got to start fishing on Lake Sakakawea since I've been coming here. And from other people that I've talked to that have been here a lot longer, this is definitely quite the abnormal situation. The Missouri River has been open for a while down by Bismarck and the tail race below Garrison and stuff like that. They've been fishing down there for about 2 weeks now, but it's still been pretty slow. So you can imagine the combination of cold temps, late ice out on the river itself, fish perhaps starting to spawn, all the dirty water runoff that came, that's now kind of washed through a little bit. So the water's clearing up, but the fishing is still not great yet. Everything just way behind. What might be possible pretty soon is fishing some of the smaller lakes in the surrounding area. First of which notably is Lake Audubon, which is right next to Lake Sakakawea. So I took a drive around there as well. Things are starting to look a lot closer there. Even the middle of the lake kind of has a really big rip in it with some open water. And the backs of some of those bays, the water's starting to get pretty blue. So you can see like if you see real thick white ice, obviously that's not very close, but if you got blue ice, you're starting to see water underneath the ice coming through pretty clear. So that stuff looks like it's pretty close to breaking up. That might be fishable here in a few days. It's really windy today, so that's gonna help rip some of that stuff open too. And on the bright side, the forecast is like upper 50s to 70 some degrees for the foreseeable future, so that's gonna help move things along a little bit as well. I have actually heard, so a lot of the stuff I've been looking at is closer to the east side of Lake Sakakawea. Apparently there were some boats out by Newtown, by Four Bears Casino, just a few days ago. So that stuff is definitely opening up sooner. The further west you go, the closer you get to the river up there, obviously the sooner the ice is gonna come off. So if you want a fishable opportunity right now on Lake Sakakawea, you gotta go as far west as possible. I haven't heard a lot of reports of how the fishing is doing, but it's a place to go. Of course, the question is there even a pre-spawn bite going on right now, or how is all that gonna shake out? Not entirely sure. One can speculate. The fact that the river fishing is pretty slow, I don't know. I'm not sure what that's gonna mean for the lake. Two different places, different sets of fish. So anyway, I know we're all antsy. We wanna get on the water, we wanna start fishing, myself included, or maybe you just wanna start watching some videos, and I'm gonna do that as soon as I possibly can. But first, we need some ice to leave and we need some fish to start biting. So one step at a time, it's coming eventually. Of course, the big question is, how is this all gonna shake out once the ice finally does come off? How are the fish gonna react? Did they already spawn? What's the bite gonna be like? And I did put together a video to talk through some of the thoughts on that. So maybe when this video is done, you can check out this other video and see what you think on that. Otherwise, hang tight. We'll be fishing eventually. Maybe do some shore fishing. Maybe I'll do some shore fishing. I don't know. Peace out, fisher people.